Hello, potential vapors. My name is Jenni Sigler. I'm 36. I'm from West Virginia, and I'm presently a doctoral candidate in communication at Purdue University. I smoked from the age of 12, and I tried quitting. 12 is normal in West Virginia. I tried quitting with patches, gum, drugs, homeopathic remedies, cold turkey. Gradually, I went to therapy. I tried everything. And I wanted to quit for the obvious reasons that most people want to quit. I felt like crap. It was expensive. The smell, ashes, burned holes and things. So nothing worked for 21 years until I was 33 years old. And then I tried Cigalike, not just because I saw one and I was curious, because I didn't know anything about them. I was overseas for 7 years, and e-cigarettes came out while I was overseas, and I had heard about them, but basically I'm a member in an online forum, and some people were talking about e-cigarettes, and I said, I've been smoking for 21 years, and they pressured me so much that I was like, fine, okay, whatever, I'll try it. So I went to 7-Eleven, and I bought a Cigalike, and it was horrible. It was truly horrible. I think I took 2 hits off of it and just threw it in the trash and was like, forget that. Yeah, e-cigarettes suck. So I told my friends, because they asked again online, that no, that's not for me. And they said, no, you did it wrong. You have to, buy the tank and the starter set and whatever. And they sent me some links for a Chinese shop, which I'll never buy it again. But they sent me some links, and I thought, okay, it's cheap enough, whatever, I'll try it again. So I ordered the stuff. It took forever to arrive because it came from China. But when it finally got here, I was like, okay, it was better. It was definitely better. Especially the fact that I had control over flavors and I had control over the amount of nicotine and all that stuff. And it tasted better. It was better throat hit. It was better everything, really. I did have some trouble figuring out how to load the tank. I loaded it from the wrong side. No instructions came with it because China. So that was kind of a disaster. But eventually, I got it working, and I was like, okay, I can do this. And in that time, I have acquired a massive collection of other things, like trying to find what I like, and because things are good for a while, but then I want something better. I want more throat hitter. And part of the issue is that I've stepped down. I started at 24 milligrams of nicotine, and I've stepped down to, I'm now at 1.5 milligrams of nicotine, alternating with 0 to ultimately be able to quit. It's been 3 years, and I have not smoked in that time except for one freak thing where I was overseas and I couldn't charging the battery, whatever. So I smoked some cigarettes, but for me, smoking has always been about stress reduction. That's always been my trigger. Every time I tried to quit, I failed because I had a major stressful moment. So with e-cigarettes, vaporizers, this is what I use now. When I'm stressed, it's there for me, right? It's not like a patch where I want to go like this and I can't do anything because I'm wearing a patch. It's such a good substitute, even for the feel. And I could go to a temperature controlled mod to try to get even, but that's probably something I'll never do. Although I said I'd never go sub-ohm, and now I'm sub-ohm. So, I mean, you go through these stages. Look at all the crap I've collected. This is my outbox. The equipment I want to get rid of because I've stepped up so many times, trying new things, seeing what I like. So this can go kind of overboard, if you're really looking for. I tried these too. If you're looking for the perfect vape, but I wouldn't say I'm someone who vapes as a hobby. I still vape to quit, and eventually I will go 100% to 0 milligrams of nicotine, and then probably when I finish the doctorate, will get rid of the thing entirely. Hopefully, that's my goal. So to explain why, what's hard about switching, because they asked us to answer that. The learning curve is really steep. I mean, I went through all these things because I didn't know what I was doing. And with my online friends, they log in when they log in. I didn't have anybody to guide me because I was in a rural area that, where I wasn't able to explain to get explanations for things. So I would say that if you want your quitting to be successful, first of all, don't start with a Cigalike, for sure. But also, find someone to guide you, to answer your questions. Using online forums is even that, it's difficult. It's really hard to find what's going to work for you. So you either have a friend who can help you, who already vapes, and I've done that for many people who wanted to switch, including my own father. But even a vape shop, just like going into a vape shop and sitting down and talking with them and letting them give you advice and whatnot, that's probably the number one thing that you can do to make a successful switch from smoking to vaping. So they asked also to talk about health changes. I sleep better. I exercise more easily. I usually chain vape. So a lot of people say, oh, my lung capacity is so much better. Well, I mean, it depends on how much I've vaped that day. You know, if I've chain vaped all day, no, I can feel some like tightness or like shallowness. I try to inhale deeply, just like when you smoke, and you do get dry mouth. So again, depending on how much you vape. If you vape the way you smoke, you know, a few hits every 20, 30 minutes or hour or whatever. I was a pack-a-day smoker, so like, it just depends on how you vape. But it definitely, I don't worry about cancer and emphysema anymore. I don't worry, you know, like every time I get sick. I do get way fewer sinus infections because that's always been a problem for me, and ear infections, throat infections. Like I don't really get those anymore. So my health is definitely better overall. I've got a list of notes here. I guess to sum it up, you know, if you get frustrated, stop and ask your guide for help. If you're overwhelmed by choice, which is easy to be with vaping, just go with the most popular things. That's how I wound up with this set. I mean, this was a really popular sub-ohm set. I didn't know. I called some shops. They gave me some advice. I just went with it. If you're not really strapped for cash, well, if you're really strapped for cash, why are you smoking in the first place? Because, I mean, no matter what you do, this is going to be cheaper, unless you buy the most expensive mods, which is, you don't need them. Nobody needs them. They just want them. But you can totally get by with cheaper stuff, and it's close enough to smoking that you really can quit with it. So I'm not going to give you personal recommendations for juices and whatnot, because what I like is not what other people like. I would also say if you don't smoke, don't start vaping, because it's just a waste of money. I mean, some people I've heard will start and go with 0 milligrams of nicotine right from the beginning because they just want to vape their dessert so that they don't consume the calories. And if there are regulators out there listening to them, I'd say don't knock that, because we have an obesity epidemic as well as a smoking problem. So great, if that's your motivation for wanting to start vaping, okay, you know, but have some reason. I wouldn't say just start because like it looks cool or what does it. I don't know. It's not worth the money if you don't have a habit, in my opinion, either for nicotine or for cheesecake or whatever. I would also say, finally, if you do want to use it for quitting, understand that making the switch is a journey. Sometimes it's a frustrating one, and sometimes it's a really fun and exciting one when you discover something new and you get a hit that's amazing, and I never thought I'd get so close to smoking. But if you really want to quit and you're in it for the long haul, like you're serious about really quitting and never smoking another cigarette again, this is definitely the best thing out there.